Hello everyone and welcome to Make Your Own Cinnamon Ornaments with Miss Taryn. So today I'm going to show you how to make your own ornaments for the Christmas tree. So you've probably made some crafty type ornaments before. I know we've done programs like that at the library, but today this is one that you could eat if you wanted to. It looks edible, it resembles gingerbread. And it's also just a really fun way to get in the kitchen and start using the materials that you have. All right, so first of all, I want to let you know that you can pick up your own kit with almost all the materials you need to make this activity at the library starting today, Wednesday. So you can come by and pick up a kit at the second floor children's desk, or you can call our curbside number and we'll bring one out to you. So let me go ahead and show you what's inside the kit. So it'll come in a bag like one of these three I've got sitting here. And the first thing you'll need to take out is the instruction sheet. So this is where we learn how to do everything. I've got a few extra tips on here if there are questions that you have. All right, so first of all, we'll read the front part, which directs you to the video. So it says, scan the QR code below to view our instructional video on the Facebook page. All right, so that's this video. So if you get this kit and you forget, you're like, oh, I'll watch that video, but I need to go back to it. You will just scan this with your phone and it'll take you to our homepage. All right, so included in your bag, you have 1/4 cup of flour, which you may have it all in one container or it may be in 2 small ones. And there are 2 white containers in here. So the flour is the one that's really soft when you shake it. Yeah, and it's very, very fine. Next, you'll have 1/8 cup of salt, which is much louder if you shake it. And you probably know what salt feels like. So if you need to do a taste test to determine which one is salt and which one is flour, you can stick your finger in the salt, taste it, and then you'll probably know what the taste of salt is. All right, next there is a container that has 1/8 cup of cinnamon. So I've measured out 1/8 cup here for us. And then you should also have a cookie cutter. So they're all different. So I have a Christmas tree, you might have a snowman, you might have a star, all kinds of stuff. All right, and then you'll also have a toothpick and some string. All right. Now, that's what you'll find inside your kit. As far as what is not inside your kit, a mixing bowl and some kind of spoon or spatula to mix up your ornament. You'll also need warm water, which I've got right here in this little cup, and a rolling pin. Now, if you don't have a rolling pin, you can kind of beat it out with your hands real carefully, but a rolling pin works the best if you can. Okay, I think we're ready to get started. So first of all, there are some optional materials if you wish to preserve this ornament. The acrylic paint you can add if you want to once the ornament is dry. The Mod Podge, same thing. You can put the Mod Podge over it. It'll preserve it so that it won't crack and crumble. It'll also make it to where you won't have like ants trying to eat it. All right, and then wax paper. I always like to put something down when I'm making these experiments and activities with you guys, just to avoid extra mess in my kitchen. So I have some wax paper because that works really well in these kind of baking situations. All right, so first of all, we're gonna look at our instructions, and it tells us to combine the flour, salt, and the cinnamon in a large mixing bowl. All right, so it doesn't matter what order you put them in, so you can put them all in together. So you've got your salt here, and the flour. I think we ran out of little cups, is what happened. Okay, more flour. There we go. Okay, and then the cinnamon, just kind of messy. All right, Got all those in there, so I'm going to combine them. So this cinnamon adds a nice rich brown color, okay? So you may still have some white powdery flour and salt mixed in there, but the mixture should turn kind of a medium brown with everything that's in it. So I want to make sure, oh, see, I've got some spots. You can see there's some spots where it's like the dark brown of the cinnamon hasn't mixed in yet with the flour. Yep, there's some spots of flour. So I want to try to get all those mix really well. So if you do much baking, or if like this is your first experience with it, that's why we have to mix things really well. And that's why you do the dry materials first. You want to get everything as combined as you possibly can so that all the flavors and all the components of whatever you're making are evenly distributed. Okay, this looks much better. Got a few little spots there. You just mix those up. Yeah, okay, so there might be a few little bitty spots where you have the little white piece of flour, but it should look kind of like this. So it'll be lighter than the color of the cinnamon because now it's got salt and flour mixed in, but it still should be brown. All right, so I'm trying to mix all these in there. Okay, next add a cup of, 1/8 cup of very warm water and mix well. So I've already measured this out to make sure. Oh my goodness. It went cold in the amount of time that I measured it. So let me get a warm piece for us. Okay, so very warm water. So it's almost hot, but not quite hot. All right, so measuring that out, and I'm going to mix well. Now it's possible that you could need more water. You just kind of have to play it by ear. This is what has worked for me, this amount. Okay, and it'll look kind of crumbly. See, it looks crumbly right now. But you'll want to keep mixing and keep mixing. Try to get that water distributed to all the parts here. Okay, that is pretty good. It's coming together pretty good, but I think I want some more water, okay? Just because it's still kind of dry. All right. All right, so I got a little bit more this time. I'm gonna pour in a small amount at a time, so I'm not gonna use it all, just in case I get too much. You can always put more in, but it is harder if you put too much in. Then I need more flour, I need more cinnamon, all that kind of fun stuff. All right, so it's starting to stick together. You can kind of see the stuff that is stuck here to my spatula. That is good. There's some good pieces in here. All right, we still want to get it a little bit more spread out. Still a little too dry. All right, so that's why I put down warm water and I didn't specify how much because it's different every time you do it. It's different every person that does it. All right, this is looking much better. So at this point, I probably added maybe 1/4 cup of water altogether, maybe a little bit more than that. Okay, so it's combined pretty good right now. I may need a little bit more water, but I'm gonna go ahead and get my hands dirty. Get this off here. I'm gonna bring it out onto the wax paper. So you guys can see it a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to, yeah, there we go. That's what we want. So it's coming together nicely in my hands. So a lot of times if you make slime, if you make Play-Doh, anything like that, it needs, for some reason, you need to get it in your hands to combine the ingredients the best way possible. All right, so I am actually gonna just use this piece right here because it's about the size of my, a little bit bigger than my ornament. So I have all this left over. So there's enough to make probably 2 ornaments if you want. I'll leave that up to you. I'm gonna be finished with that one. I am flattening this. So if you have wax paper, set it on a flat surface. You don't have to use wax paper. I am, if you have aluminum foil, that'll work too. All right, so now you're kneading it with your hands, okay? So if your dough is too sticky and it's sticking to your hands, which mine is not, if it's too sticky, that means you put too much water. So you may have to add some flour to it, okay? All right, so flatten with your hands or with a rolling pin. So I have a rolling pin. I'm gonna go ahead and use it. Be careful here. I don't have a good way of moving it here. Okay, I'll just flatten it a little bit. And that's pretty good because this middle part is what we want to use. Whoops. What we want to use for the cookie cutter. Okay. Next, we're going to use the cookie cutter to shape the ornament. Okay, so I'm going to stick it here. You'll notice that there are 2 sides of it. There's one that has like a ridge. If you've never used a cookie cutter before, there's like a ridge. It's softer if you put your fingers on top of it. The other side that is sharper, it's not going to cut you or anything, but that is the side that you want to use to place down into your dough. Okay, so I'm going to place it down and push it hard till you hit the table. Okay, and then you can repeat with any remaining dough or just remove the excess, whichever way you want to. So I'm going to take off this extra part that is not in the cookie cutter. So this is definitely enough. I may be able to make several ornaments out of this, whatever you want to do. All right, so I'm going to take that off. All right, so I've got my little Christmas tree here. And before let's see if I can pick it up. I don't want to mess it up. Be really careful with it. But here it is. There's my Christmas tree. It's looking good. All right, so now I'm going to find my toothpick to pierce a hole in the top. So this is where the string is going to go through once it dries. Okay, so I'm just going to use it up here at the top. You can put it wherever you want to. And it might, I'm using it, like I'm piercing it with the toothpick, and I'm adding a little extra space around it because my yarn is kind of thick. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so now is the part you have to wait for. So you have to set it out to dry for 24 hours. And then once you do that, you are able to use the piece of thread or yarn, whatever you have, put it through there. You can thread it together and then it'll hang up nice for your Christmas tree. Okay, so, and this is the optional part that you can do if you want to. We don't have the materials at the library, but if you want to use the acrylic paint, if you have acrylic paint at home, it turns out really well on this type of material. Or you can use the Mod Podge once it is dry. So you want to make sure that your ornament is completely dry before you do this, all right? So you can change the color. Since I have a Christmas tree, I could paint it green and I could put little ornaments on it, whatever I want to do. All right, so hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hope you know how to make a cinnamon ornament now. So like I said at the beginning, remember to pick up your kits at the library beginning today. You can get them at the second floor children's desk, or you can come to our curbside delivery, call the number, and then we will bring it out to you. All right, thank you guys, bye.